All right, here we are. We're in the lab. They're both going to be identical, but I'll explain them when we get in there. All right, we're going to go ahead and configure this bottom one to use EtherChannel. And we'll take a look at little different commands here and there, okay? Let's get inside. All right, here we are inside the EtherChannel lab. All right, this is not something that's new to us. We've heard about this. We did it in the older CCNA. Now it's still in the new CCNA. What you need to understand about EtherChannel is that it aggregates. That's its point, to bring all those three cables that you see there together and use them as one to increase bandwidth. All right, to increase bandwidth. And right now, what the topology we're looking at is the same thing from the top one and the bottom one. You can see that two ports are blocked because of spanning tree. Okay, the spanning tree is working. You see redundant links. So it's going to do what it always does. It says, okay, I need to block a certain amount of ports. So it chooses to block those two ports. And you see it's blocking the same ports on top and it is on the bottom. So there is no EtherChannel configured. And we do have connectivity. See, this is the 1.0 network. Let me see if the computers have their IP address. Let's take a look. Desktop. Okay, this is 1.1. So probably the other one is 1.2. Let's see if we can ping across. Ping 192.168.1.2. And we do. We have connectivity. All right, why wouldn't we? All right, but what we want to do, we want to have faster connectivity, right? In our backbones, we want to make sure that, you know, we have just, instead of just 100 megabits per second, we have 300 megabits per second or more. You can aggregate up to 8 lines. Now, even though it's outside the scope of the CCNA, all right, just to warn you, because if you're going to do EtherChannel and you aggregate all these three cables, what's going to happen is it's going to treat it as one cable to bring the bandwidth together. But it turns all these ports to forwarding ports, and we'll look at it. We'll just look at it. Understand that that could create an issue with connectivity because they'll all be forwarding. That means that you could possibly have a switching loop. So you need to take a look at this, because maybe some ports you will need to say, hey, you know what? Let's not do, you know, the configuration. Let's not do any kind of channel group 1 mode on that particular port, because you want a port for span tree to look at to block it. All right. If not, you will have a switching loop. So be very careful. I think that's outside the scope. Basically, they just want to know what you see here on the right. Well, first of all, they want to know that you know what EtherChannel is, which is the aggregation of, you know, multiple cables as one. Okay, so you can have greater throughput in your traffic. Now, one of the things that you do need to understand, now you'll never see this when you look at the modes that they have. I put this in here. Okay, what this means, this is vendor across vendors. Basically, you can, you know, do whichever yes, LACP. So it's not proprietary to any particular vendor. You can use it through anyone. Now, there's other benefits to using LACP, all right, that you can go ahead and, you know, you can read about, what have you, but understand that it's not Cisco proprietary, all right? But now, if you do active, that means that it's going to use LACP, all right, link aggregation control protocol unconditional. I mean, it's going to do it, period. This is what I want. And then you have to, if you're going to use active, the other side must be passive. That's going to say, hey, I want to go ahead and, if the other side is LACP, then I want to be LACP too. Okay, so it's not vendor specific. Or you can do desirable, which that C stands for Cisco. That is Cisco proprietary, PAGP. So if you do PAGP, then you got to do auto on the other side for the negotiation. And it says, hey, I'm going to go ahead and be PAGP as well. All right, so they got to match up on either side. Now, if you just do on, that means you're still going to have an EtherChannel. There just won't be any negotiation going on back and forth. That's the only difference. All right. And here is the configuration that we're going to do. It's very, very simple. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right. You know, we have connectivity across. So let's go ahead. And now one of the things I like to do, because the ports that we're using is 20, 21, 22 on both sides. What I like to do, first of all, and again, this is just me. I like to turn off the ports, because I don't want anything to start sending information back and forth before my configuration is over when it comes to doing EtherChannel. So I'll do an int range, 20, 21, 22. 21, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22, 22. 22 interface F0/20, right? It was 21, 22, was it? I don't even remember now. Ooh, there, 21, 22, yeah. No, not maximize last. Over here. Okay. Let's open it up again. All right. 20 through 22. Sorry about that. Int range. Okay. Int range. Int range. Oh, F. Wow. Okay. F0, 20 through 22. All right. I'm just going to shut down these particular ones. All right. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And again, I don't want anything to, start sending me any information whatsoever. I'm just going to do int range F0/20 through 22, and then do a shut. Right, shut them down. WR. Just a force of habit I have to do that. All right, now I'll go ahead and I'll start my Ether channel configuration. See, the ports are red because those three interfaces are down. Now, let's go ahead and start from global configuration. And what we're going to do is we're going to create the port first. All right, so we're going to do interface, port, -channel. And again, it's a number. It's a local number. You can pick one. You can see you can do six channels here. We're just going to do, there's our first port, or our first channel, so there's going to be one. And then we need to make sure that that is trunked. So we're going to do switch, port mode, trunk. Okay. Then we're actually going to go inside those three interfaces that I just shut down. I'm going to go interface, range, F0/20-22. All right. And I'm going to do, okay, we're going to trunk those ports, switch port mode trunk. All right. We are going to do switch port non-negotiate, but then we're going to give it the negotiation, which we want to. Here it says passive. All right, so that means that we're using what? A non-vendor. But let's go ahead and change that, and let's go ahead and put active, or so it can be unconditionally. It's going to not active, desirable. So we're going to do desirable. All right, so we're going to use Cisco. All right, we'll do switch port, non-negotiate. Non-negotiate, and then we're going to do the channel group that we're in, channel group 1, what mode, and this is where if you do a question mark, this is where you see all that I have here on the right. So we're going to do desirable. Okay, turn that on, do WR. Okay, so we're okay there. Now you're not going to get any feedback because the ports are down. I'm not going to turn them on until I do the other side. So let's go to the other side. And we essentially do the same thing. We do the same thing. Control Z, make that here. Shoot. All right. And let's do config T. And we're going to do, again, interface, ports, -channel 1, because this is our first port, or first channel port. And then we trunk that port, switch port mode trunk. Then we're going to go into that interface range. I think I can, no, I can't. Okay. Interface range F0/20 through 22. Okay. Then we're going to do switch. We're going to trunk that these ports, right? And it should be trunked automatically, but that's okay. We're going to trunk it anyway. The switch port non-negotiate, and then channel -group 1 mode. Now we did desirable on the other side, so that means we got to do auto on this side. All right. So since this is the side that's going to have to say, hey, what are you running? I'm going to turn on the other side first. Those ports, I'm going to turn those ports on first. And then when this one comes up, it's going to say, oh, hey, you're running this. All right. So I'm going to do a no shut. I'm already inside the range. Okay. Control Z. All right, let that come up, and I'm going to go to the other side and do the same exact thing. I'm going to do a no shut over there. and turn those ports up as well. Control Z. All right. And you can see they're going through their process, but I'm going to fast forward in time because I don't feel like waiting. Come on. And now you see that the green lights are on. All right. All green lights are on. This is why I said that be careful, because you could actually create a switching loop, because now the ports are going to be fast, forwarding. So if we go ahead and let's look at switch 1. And we do show, I think, whoa, what happened there? Hit the wrong button on the keyboard. Show, shift key. There it is, ether channel. Just wanted to make sure I was right. Show ether channel. And then you can say, port channel information, or just show ether channel. And you can see right here, show ether channel, group 1, group state is L2. Okay, maximum is 3 ports. Okay, ports are 3, but we have a maximum of 8 ports that we can use. Port channel is 1. Okay, and the protocol that we're using. All right, we do the same thing, but this time if we question mark it, and let's open it up a little bit because everything's getting truncated, and I hate that. And then we do the port channel 1. Oops. Or port channel, okay. Now you can see what we see here. Hey, this is running desirable, okay, and is running on these 3 ports right here, okay. So we are running the PAGP, all right, as you can see. All right, let's go up here. Where's that? Port channel group 1, okay. Port channel is PO1. All right, and it tells you how long, the age of the port channel, how long it was created. It was created 6 minutes ago. All right, the protocol is PAGP, and there is no port security. It's been disabled, or it hasn't been configured at all. We haven't done nothing like that here. But one of the things that you want to look at, if you do a show spanning tree, all right, we only have one VLAN in here. You can see that all the ports are forwarding. All right, and you can see that you have your port channel right here, all right, which is nice. Okay, but still, all the things are forwarding. Now, this is the root bridge. Okay, that's fine. We expect that on the root bridge, but not on the other switch. All right, we do here, show spanning tree. All right, you can see we have port channel 1, which is fine, and that's the cost of it right there. Okay, but again, all ports are designated forwarding, which can cause an issue later on. But again, I'm not going to get into that because outside the scope of the test. Just know that you see we do create an actual port for that, okay? But all ports do turn to designated forwarding. They're now aggregated into that particular channel, so it can have greater bandwidth. Very easy configuration, all right? But once you get into a larger enterprise where you have more redundancies in your backbones, if you to have 4 core switches and they have 2 redundant links to each one, a complete mesh with 2 links, and you've created ether channel on all these links, then that could be an issue because you've now stopped spanning tree from looking at those particular ports because they're all going to be designated forwarding. So just keep that in mind. But for the test, this is the certification with CCNA, what we did, the configuration of it, how we did it, and the meaning of all these right here is what you need to understand as well. All right? I'll see you guys outside the lab. All right. No big deal, right? No big deal. Exactly what we saw on the presentation. The configuration, those modes is what you need to actually keep in mind. Now, you saw that we went to these interfaces, or we did the show spanning tree, I should say. When we did the show spanning tree, yes, all ports, and you see an extra port there for the port channel 1, but you see that all ports are designated forwarding. Because spanning tree is not looking at it. Because you see, remember the top? See how it's blocking 2 ports? Because spanning tree is saying, hey, I need to stop the forwarding to avoid a broadcast domain. I mean, not a broadcast domain, a broadcast storm. But when you do this, that means you're putting all 3. Spanning tree sees it as 1. So all ports are designated forwarding. In a larger enterprise, and I mentioned that already, in a larger enterprise, and it is beyond the scope that we need to do for the CCNA, but just for you to be aware. In a larger enterprise network, for let's say you have more, you have 4, 5, 6 core routers, you have a full mesh, all right, with 2 links, all right, coming out of each particular switch. If you aggregate all those ports, you could create a switching loop since spanning tree is not looking at it. So you may have to go in there and turn off spanning tree, okay, or turn off, not turn off spanning tree, turn off EtherChannel, all right, no channel group mode or no channel group 1, all right, take it out of the EtherChannel because so spanning tree can look at it again and say, oh, okay, let's block this one to avoid switching loops. So we looked at the different ports as well, so you can see, hey, this may later on run into an issue with connectivity. You know, not only a broadcast storm, but with connectivity itself. All right, so you gotta be very careful. But in something like this, very small, all right, just back and forth to understand the concept of EtherChannel, so you know where the modes are, how you would configure it, what it is. This is just fine. You have connectivity back and forth. All right. Well, that's EtherChannel. I'll see you in the next.